Thank you, Chair. I'll jump right into that report. So again, this is the report for 2025 half-ton crew cab 4x4 work trucks. We had gone out for 16 of these. The purpose of this report here is to inform committee and council of the results for the public request for quotes and recommend purchase recommended within this document. Our current recommendation is that council, as per the conditions of the public request for quotes, accepts the low submission from Summerside Chrysler Dodge for the purchase of 3 2025 1/2 ton crew cab 4x4 work trucks in the amount of $62,350 each plus applicable tax. In March of 2025, the Water and Sewer Utility had issued a public request for quotes for 16 half-ton crew cab work trucks. This was in conjunction with Public Works. They were seeking to purchase 13, and the utility is seeking to purchase 3. There was a public opening of the tender following immediately of the closing. There were 3 submissions received. Of the 3 submissions received, 1 bid was deemed compliant. This bid is with Summerside Chrysler Dodge, proposing a Dodge Ram 1500 in the amount of $62,350 each. So based on the public tendering process in the review of submissions, the department or the utility recommends awarding the lowest compliant bidder, which is Summerside Chrysler Dodge. The other 2 submissions were disqualified for not including responses to the tender amendments. If there's any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Okay, any questions here today? Councilor
I do,
Matar?
yeah, thank you. So just for clarity purposes, I think this was already brought to council floor, and we had great discussion and debate over it. So it's coming back through here, which I believe was in finance originally, and we were seeking, to kind of see where we stood from this from a legal perspective in the way of possibly reissuing the RFP, et cetera. I'm not seeing anything in the report that suggests, so what we're doing here today, we're re-promoting this back to council again for a decision. And can we get an explanation as to why we're back here today again with it?
Thank you, Councilor Matar. I see Richard's got his hand on his mic, so we'll ask him to explain it. Thank you.
So there is a request for a purchase of vehicles from both the water and sewer utility and from Public Works. And the one that went forward to council was Public Works, but it is a combined tender. So we do need to see how things will get resolved. But in order for both resolutions to get to council, they need to go through committee first.
So, Mr. Chair, can I follow up on that?
Go right ahead.
I don't recall that, Richard, I recall it being that it did come with all encompassing, it was 800 and some odd $1,000. So it was in totality of both the 3 and the 13, so for a total of 16. What my anticipation was is possibly at the night of the special meeting of council, we would have been revisiting this particular report based on the information that we would be further provided on the legal advice and the outcomes of following the tender process, albeit there was some confusion around it and what should and should have happened, et cetera. So I'm not sure what we're promoting forward here. I thought this was already there completely as a joint package.
So again, I've just pulled up the resolution that went to council on April 8th, and it's from Public Works for the purchase of 13 vehicles. So again, but we will dovetail them together, but there was one tender that was put out, but it's for 13 with Public Works, which was the resolution that went forward to council, and this is for 3 with the utility. But again, we'll bring both of them together.
So essentially, this is all that same package. Okay, I just want to be clear on what we're doing here. So I guess we're not really, it can promote it forward, but we have to have the bigger discussion on that outcome of the current debate.
Exactly. Like this does, if we pass this, does this come from recommendation from our committee back up again? Just for clarification, if you could, Richard.
Yep. Again, because it's a purchase for water and sewer, if there hadn't been that discussion at council, you'd still see this resolution coming forward. And there will be a resolution that is for the purchase of the 13 and the 3. And both of them will follow a parallel process.
Okay, thank you. Is that,
Yeah, I mean, we want these 3 trucks. I'm not, debating the need for them. I guess it'll promote it forward, and then we'll have the bigger discussion, I assume, at the next special meeting council is likely where we're to see that, to wrap that other situation up.
Yep, so I could see this committee recommending that it follow the parallel process with the 13 for Public Works.
sure, if the committee wants to move it ahead? Do you have a question, or you just? Move ahead?
Yeah, I'll have to have the broader discussion, so I'll second it to get it up to that discussion.
Okay. To have further discussions, we'll move it up to council to debate it then. That'd be great. Moved by Councillor McAleer, second by Councillor Matar. Thank you. Now we'll go on to the next item. Josh, you're on again for traffic control services.
Thank you, Chair. The utility had gone out to RFP for traffic control services. This is an item we use yearly. The recommendation currently is that council accepts the bid for traffic control services in the amount of $24 plus applicable tax per hour submitted by Go With The Flow Traffic Control. The water and sewer utility had issued an RFP for traffic control services and had received 2 bids. Both bids were deemed compliant with the RFP specifications. The low bid was submitted by Go With The Flow Traffic Control in the amount of $24 per hour plus applicable taxes. And this is the one we'd be seeking to move forward.
Okay, thank you, Josh. Pretty straightforward, but I see Councillor McCart.
I do have a question, Chair, just for clarity purposes. When you talk about going out to the RFP with various specifications for this, I mean, the obvious thing here is pricing is the first one. What other aspects would you be looking at? Experience, equipment, geographically able to service Charlottetown type of thing? Is that some of the other factors, or is it just purely based on the differentiation between one bid per hour versus the other bids per hour rate?
Through the chair to Councillor Matar, that's a great question. And there's various specifications that we did look at. It does specify geographical location as well as response times, staffing available. We could have multiple locations being controlled at the same time, so they do have to have a particular level of staffing, as well as references and experience is all taken into account. Pricing being one of the bigger factors, but there are other specifications.
Okay, thank you. Just wanted to verify that it wasn't just price alone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Josh, for that. And let's see if we can move that.
Yep, I'll move that.
Moved by Councillor Matart, second by Councillor McAleer. Accept that. And move it along. Okay. There's nothing else listed on our discussions and reports, so introduction of new business. Do I see anything in new business? Pretty quiet today? No? How about an adjournment? Moved by Councillor Matart, second by Councillor McAleer. Thank you very much. I mean, we're very short in this meeting today, but these 2 things had to be dealt with, so appreciate you both coming in, or everyone coming in, and thank you very much.